Welcome to another edition of the Evil Ewok Podcast, everybody. We have gathered here tonight not only to talk about the Bad Batch, but to also talk about a little trailer that dropped earlier today by the name of The Acolyte. Kat, Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Happy to be back. It's been a long time, Phils. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't even know how long it's been. Time just kind of flies by now.
Too long.
We were too busy talking about eating food before the stream and how Kat survives on pretzels nowadays. It seems to be her thing. At the Evil Ewok, in case you guys don't know, in the Evil Ewok cafeteria, all we have are pretzels and Pellegrinos. So now you guys all know that. Little fun fact.
Explains.
So before we get into the trailer, a couple of details that Catherine LaSalle graciously sent over. It is set 100 years before the Phantom Menace. We were talking about this in chat. I just totally spaced on the time frame and all that good stuff. So I was just like, oh well, I mean, who knows who will be in it? And then Zach, came out with his nerd info and let me have it about how wrong I was about a lot of things. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting we get to explore kind of an era that hasn't been explored yet.
Yeah. No, I should also disclaim these facts I did not come up with myself. I literally found them on the Twitter page at Culture Crave, who I tend to usually believe. I think they usually have the inside scoop, or I guess rather it's on X now, however you want to refer to it. So these are not my own facts. I did not come up with these, but I literally saw them 5 seconds before we went live. But yeah,
just so you guys know, we make up our own facts here on the Evil Ewok podcast. None of these are factual. Take it with a grain of salt. All right. The next on the list is apparently, I didn't actually know this. They didn't use the volume at all.
I didn't know either. That's the one I'm like, curious about.
Is that true?
I know. I think they remember years ago when set photos I think got leaked. I know they actually built pretty hefty sets and kept them pretty secret, under wraps for this. I am hesitant to believe that they wouldn't use the volume, but please, Lord, I would love to believe that. We'll find out, I guess.
The future is in the past, Sal. The future of Star Wars is in the past. Off we go. Yeah, it's interesting. I felt like there were a couple sets that were the volume, but I guess I could be wrong.
I trust your
That's
eye.
going to be the theme. That's going to be the theme moving forward. Great. Or if they are going to use the volume, use it very sparingly. I know they used it in Dune, but I don't know where they used it.
Really?
That's a good thing, right? You don't know where they actually used it.
Right. When I can't see it, I love it. Volume is amazing. I feel like we've segued into such an anti-volume shit all over here. But when it first came out, sorry, I'm going to stop coughing. When it first came out in Mando, I'm not going to stop coughing.
Just stop being sick.
Continues to cough.
Right now. Stop being sick right now.
Come on, brain. Zach, take it away.
It's just a mindset.
I can't.
What do you want me to say? Well, as Kat was about to say, everybody worked very hard on this show, so we all better like it.
On the cat scale, everything's an 8, in case you guys don't know.
What I was going to say is the volume used to look fabulous, and now I feel like I blame you guys. You guys have trained my eye too much. You're ruining the illusion for me with your education, your degrees.
I'm sorry, Kat.
I mean, I feel like our degrees really don't mean anything. I feel like we really didn't learn that much either.
Y'all have more critical thinking than I do.
We learned stuff. We can just say we learned stuff. I learned that, therefore I'm smarter than you.
You have a piece of paper that says you technically know more than me in the field of cinema. So I think that means something. I think that's worth
well, the funny thing about that is nowadays I've noticed more than ever, a lot of jobs don't require, at least for creative, don't require a degree anymore. They just require a portfolio, So it's
yeah.
I mean, especially for acting, right? I think it's always been that way. You don't need to go to college for acting, right?
Sweet Lord, yeah. No, it's definitely... It's hard knock life.
Kat went to Harvard for law and then decided to become an actress.
I wish.
That's her backstory.
My parents would really be mad.
Apparently, so it's narratively similar to Andor. Are they just saying that to
Define narratively. What does that mean?
they're like
Literally the same.
Andor, but it's not Andor. Like, okay, so that maybe they're, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know what that means, but that's interesting. It's gonna be 8 episodes. Okay.
I hope it has the same vein of like the thriller-esque, it's definitely like mystery crime. Similar overlap, I'm sure, with Andor.
Episodes around 30 minutes. Only Andor was an hour, right?
No,
Yeah.
Andor was longer than normal, but I wish they would just get into the habit of making these like 45-minute to an hour long episodes. I don't understand. Nobody wants to watch a friggin' 28-minute live action episode. That's so deflating. Can you do you remember how many times we'd be watching like a Mandalorian episode or a Kenobi episode, and we'd start the episode and we'd immediately look at the runtime and it's like 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, god damn it, like 7 of those minutes are credits. So
yeah.
The moment it gets into anything interesting, it always just immediately cuts into the credits. Yeah. It was like, or it's like an episode that doesn't really matter, right? So it's 23 minutes. And it was like, okay, well, that didn't go anywhere. Why couldn't that have just fit into a piece of the puzzle for like a 60-minute episode?
Yeah, and when you only have 6 to 8 episodes in a season, it sucks. Like it really like pisses me off because it's not like, I mean, traditionally an HBO show that only had like 8 episodes, for example, would be like an hour per episode, because you don't have like 20 something episodes. So you need longer form content. And then you have Kenobi, which had 6 episodes, right?
And some of those were even like 30 minutes.
That was a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. What are you doing?
They're like, we need people to pay that extra month on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So let's add this 6 episodes.
It's hard because I try, some of the best episodes of Star Wars are in Clone Wars or Rebels, which aren't even 30. Those things are like 23 minutes. So I try not to put so much credence on like when I do see the runtime, but you're so right. Like Zach, when you said like we would log in, and that's just instinctively the first thing you would go look to see, like, oh my God, what are we in for tonight? And so it's definitely, I try not to be disheartened by it, but it's admittedly really hard for me to like, I know quality is not equated to duration, but especially with the live action, when every other streaming platform, the norm is, look at Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. Those episodes were 50 minutes long. Like, it's the norm everywhere else. Like, why can't we just have it with Star Wars too? It's not a critique. It's just a desire for more. It's just coming from a yearning place for longer, more content.
I think it is a critique because, to your point, all the best episodes of the Clone Wars and Rebels were like a part of arcs that, like, they were pieces of a story broken up into like 4 episodes. So it didn't feel like, I don't know, when you like, and oftentimes they were released at the same time, like Twilight of the Apprentice, for example. That was back-to-back episodes that were released on the same night. So it felt like you were watching just one long episode. Whereas with like Kenobi, when the prison break, I mean, that episode sucked, but the prison break episode was like 27 minutes or whatever. That, like, you look at that and you're just like, why are we doing this? Like, I mean, I don't want them to overinflate their episodes with pointless filler, but maybe don't make 6 episodes like Alex was saying. Maybe make 4. Just make them super tight. I don't know. I just don't like when you've got this big live action show that's highly anticipated, and then we're getting like 30-minute episodes, 27-minute episodes. It makes no sense.
Like, I'm trying to just understand like how it's pitched, right? Like, I think here it says it was pitched as a multi-season show, right? So are they trying to extend it as much as possible by making shorter episodes, or do they just feel like it's cheaper to just do 30-minute episodes, right? Based off of the budgets of most of these, aside from Kenobi, right, they are right up there with some of like the biggest TV shows ever that are an hour long. So I'm just curious, is it like a VFX thing that they're worried about going over budget with? Is it something else? Like, I can't imagine. I can imagine it only impacts like the world building and the character building by having episodes run so short. And also, I feel like deteriorates your returning audience, because I feel like if you build a satisfying episode from start to end, and then you end the episode like on like a semi cliffhanger, right? You're not completely like, wow, that went nowhere. Like you actually had a satisfying hour-long episode, and now you're like, oh, I'm excited to see where this goes. It makes people excited to return to see what's coming next, as opposed to like, God, this is so annoying. This is 20 minutes of like just a couple of people talking, and now like we didn't really get anywhere. There's nothing really established. And if it takes 3 episodes to get that, right, what normally would take maybe 1 episode of just good writing, I feel like that's kind of the disconnect that a lot of the shows have, and why there's a lot of people kind of dropping off halfway through the season of these seasons. They're just not intrigued enough to keep them. And I think it's important that they kind of address this and make these episodes mean something each time to keep people returning.
Shout out from the UK. Can't sleep, so just chilling and vibing. What's up, the chosen one?
What up?
Happy
What up?
Tuesday.
I like
Cat,
to
don't
see
be
the yellow saber.
racist.
I'm sorry.
Just
Stop.
yelling at Cat. Cat, stop talking.
Cat gets canceled live.
I like to see the yellow saber. What do you guys? Before we get into it, we'll just address this. What do you guys think about the yellow saber? I'm seeing like a lot of people either pissed off or angry about it, and I didn't even know it was a thing.
Sorry, chosen one. Why would people be mad? Why would people
Didn't
be
Ray
mad?
have a yellow lightsaber?
Is that the thing
Oh,
that's
is that why?
triggering them?
I
Is that
don't
a
know.
triggering
But
thing?
I'm just saying, like, it's established that people can have yellow lightsabers. It's one of the more established colors, I'd say, behind green, blue, red, and purple. Yellow's the other one.
Purple in last place because it's only Mace Windu, right? Is there anyone else with a purple saber?
I mean, Revan is portrayed a lot with the purple lightsaber.
Wow, see, I just proved how bad I am at the deep lore.
Bro, why are you even on a Star Wars podcast?
I know. We're talking about Dune. This is a Dune podcast. I thought you guys knew that.
Lisan al-Gaib!
Now you got to do the sing Cat.
I need better freaking acoustics in here. Plus, I need to not have a cold.
Yellow
That's
saber
not-
denotes
not
guardian.
performance. Oh, I like that.
This is
I like
true, Sal. It's very true.
Ooh, I'm halfway through that. I started listening.
She has them in the Bad Batch trailer that we saw. Yeah. So
Dude, Cat's just like reading everything. Every time I'm on the stream, Cat's like, "Oh, I read that," or "Oh, I'm reading that," or "Yeah, I'm on Dune. I'm on the book 15 of Dune. It's pretty good."
Y'all have to keep reading, especially if they're allegedly going to finish out Denis' series with Dune Messiah, which is my favorite. It might be my favorite one. I don't know. I fluctuate, but it's epic. It's amazing. You have to keep going. Do it,
Like,
please.
I've read it 6 times.
And it's short. It's not long. It literally flies by. I know Dune is like this thick. Messiah is like so much smaller. It's doable. It's doable.
He's the Messiah. I'm not the Messiah. So anyone seen? Nobody's seen that movie.
What movie is it?
It's the Monty Python movie. Life of Brian.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just
The one that we just. Oh wait, no, never mind. Ignore that. I was thinking about something else.
We will touch on this later. We will touch on this later.
I haven't watched Bad Batch for so long.
Never mind. We won't touch on this later.
Oh
You
yeah,
can.
Cat's behind. Yeah,
You
me and Cat
can.
are on the chopping block now from Zach for not.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you guys go.
Alrighty. The last note, obviously, it says it incorporates EU and Legends lore, which is obvious. But I guess we'll see what they retcon and whatnot, right? But anyway, without further ado, just close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you.
You know, I just kept thinking about Obi-Wan when I first heard that.
We must not trust them. Tell me what comes into your mind.
Life.
I do love this. That was one thing I noticed. I love that we're seeing a lot of aliens again.
Mm-hmm.
Life. Balance. I see fire.
It's like, all right, get that kid out of here.
You don't get to be a
Security.
Jedi. Sorry, buddy.
I will say this: the incorporation of like different fighting styles in martial arts, right? Thinking like maybe it evolved by the time it got to like the prequels and their fighting styles were a little different. But I do like that. The whole like I don't know, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style,
Ooh.
right?
They're
I
not
do-
even
I don't
gonna
mind
use
that.
their lightsabers in the show.
They don't even use lightsabers.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
So that is Yord, and Yord is a Jedi Knight and Guardian from the Jedi Temple. He is an overachiever and a rule follower, and his need to be by the book can cloud his mind. So I guess it's just going to be another character where you need to do this. If you don't, bad things will happen, and then he probably gets killed somehow because of his hubris or whatever.
There's a lot of dialogue in this trailer. That was one of the things that surprised me, because I feel like thinking back to a lot of Star Wars show trailers, they lean more on the visuals and the music and the occasional line of dialogue here and there. And I think I prefer that, to be honest.
Yeah, I like dialogue only highlighting or maybe alluding to potential plot points rather than like a conversation.
Yeah, like someone's
there was
killing Jedi.
Like there was a trailer, the new Kevin Costner movie about the West. There's like a random dialogue insert from him where he talks like 3 lines of dialogue in a trailer. I don't know if you guys saw it.
He was in the rainforest with my mom when she was researching spiders.
Yeah, it was basically like that. He read like 3 sentences, and then all of a sudden it just cut to another part of the trailer. I was like, what was that? Why did they have to insert him like talking about something random? That was like the weirdest thing I've seen. The trailer isn't bad, but that was all I could think about. I was like, why is that in the trailer? It was so weird. Like a throwaway line that makes no sense. Or in case
it doesn't make sense.
Is this Kashyyyk? What is this? Probably not, right?
I don't know.
I do think that's the worst shot in the trailer, though. Something about it looks fake.
Well, that's
There's
the one that I
another shot
am
that I think is
curious if they didn't use
my
the
least favorite.
volume.
Well, I think this is just probably blue screen or green screen or something.
It almost looks like they're standing against a wall with like, it looks like it's a painting almost, like they're standing against a
painting. like a mural.
Yeah.
And then they have like fog.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It just looks it looks flat.
Yeah, it's also the camera angle and the way it's shot looks a little funky. Like there's ways to mask this, but this isn't like if you're gonna do these kinds of shots, you need to do it on location. You can't do it like this. Like this masks it really well, right?
Yeah,
like doing these kinds of shots. Yeah, you got to do it with direct focus. And that's Glenn. Always Sunny, right? Or no?
Is it?
No.
He looks old.
No way.
Look how old you've become.
Something far worse has happened to you.
Oh God.
What happened?
I sensed darkness.
I do like the subtle kind of what's the word? Like they don't exert a lot of effort because they're so good at what they do. I like that kind of fighting too, where like they're not like, and the editing has to be on par too with this kind of with this kind of fighting too. But when it's kind of like, oh, I'm humoring you by letting you fight me, but really I can just use one hand kind of deal. I like that kind of stuff. Also, this is totally me.
That's you?
This is totally me. Every time I go into an elevator.
Oh my God.
Totally me.
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it. What is that?
It almost
gonna
sounds like they have the like Palpatine's little scream that he does when he attacks the Jedi at the end there.
Oh my god. Whoa.
Do you hear it? Am I crazy?
No, now that
Where?
you said it.
Like right when the tornado or whatever it is comes up. Like almost when the title starts. Right there. Like almost as it's fading to this Acolyte thing.
I hear it. Good
I don't hear
observation.
it. Hold on.
Alex, you might be deaf.
I'm turning it up even more. Oh. Dude, how did you hear that?
Because I am a god.
Because I watched it 400 times. That's pretty cool. So is this a ring? Is this Lord of the Rings?
I don't know because there's two of them when it's fully complete. It like
Almost like an eclipse.
yes. I don't know.
Interesting.
Or maybe it's showing like the darkness is overshadowing the light or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like you're eclipsing the light. The balance.
It's a TikTok ring light, Nathan.
Hey guys, it's me, Jedi Master so-and-so. Someone's been killing a bunch of Jedi, and today we're gonna go over the top 10 people it could be.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Hmm.
Do you
So
think
the
that's-
Acolyte is in the
That's
Acolyte.
Yoda, that's Yoda on a chair.
Oh my god. With a cloak.
Yeah.
Go on a chair. In the Acolyte, is an investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master against a dangerous warrior from his past. A former Jedi Padawan reunites with their Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are far more sinister than they ever anticipated. So is it going to be like a spy thriller?
I hope. I think mysteries. I don't know.
Are we though, Colin? Are we?
I
I thought they killed it.
No, I thought they canceled it, didn't they? Didn't they
That's
like
such a-
actually cancel it?
I
Such
thought-
a damn shame.
Did it get canceled or what? Did they just kind of basically say, hey, it's going to be a long time, so just don't think about it for now? Because weren't they like having hiring issues? I feel like they just didn't even have enough people on their team to make that game come to fruition. I don't know. I could be spreading lies. I've just perceived that it's never happening. So if there is some news, if that news isn't concrete that it's cancellation, then maybe I'll have hope.
I mean, their main problem is outsourcing all of their work to
Yeah.
other people, and then when there's deadlines not hit, they fire them and then send all of that to another studio, and that studio now has to learn the ropes, and it's just kind of like a never-ending money pit that they seem to get themselves into time and time again. Zach died.
The rumors of my demise
What up?
are greatly exaggerated.
I'm calling it. They're all Sith.
Everyone?
They're all the Sith. I am all the Sith.
Ugh.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And I am Iron Man.
Stop! Oh my frick. I haven't seen that meme in a long
I
time.
am John Cena.
God, I do hate that movie.
How do we always? How do
Everything. We're like so far from that timeline now, and we're still making it to the Rise of Skywalker.
We're still holding on!
Let go.
Oh my god! Literally, how do we always come back to this? We're literally getting exactly what Zach and I have been asking for. Just throw us a bone into some freaking timeline that is nowhere near, remotely near. Well, I guess 100 years is still not that much. It's still on the cusp.
What if they spend the whole show being like, guys, this is how Palpatine ends up cloning himself, and they devote
No.
the entire show to that?
No, they couldn't.
They're
They
like,
couldn't.
we can see the future. In the future,
Oh
the
my
guy who
God.
kills us figured out how to clone himself.
If they do that, I swear I might actually become a Star Trek fan. I know that's drastic, but
Wow,
I've
God.
never seen it. So I've seen the J.J. Abrams movie, but I've never seen the show.
me
So,
either. I don't even
I mean,
know where
I might
start.
flip. I might flip and become a Trekkie too. Who knows?
You're a Dooney.
I'm a Dooney.
Dude.
Doing so much better. Doing so much better in like every way. I'm actually pissed I didn't know about it until the first movie came out. Anyway, aside from that, so the director, what's her name? I always forget her name.
Leslie.
Leslie Headland.
Yes.
Leslie Headland says the story will focus on a darker tone, focusing on the duality that exists beyond the simplistic black and white view of good versus evil. The Acolyte asks a key question before the fall of the Jedi. What went wrong? Headland asks, and if the bad guys are actually the underdog. It just seemed like a cool reversal.
Mm.
So, okay, so it's gonna play on the trope of what actually is good and bad, kind of like, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, were the Jedi actually the bad guys, right? So this might there might be some, there might still be some underlying tension in the order, or maybe there's the purists, like that one Yord guy, and there's other people who are kind of breaking away from the dogmatic narrow view of the Jedi.
I mean, yes, the Sith are the bad guys, but the Jedi aren't great. So I don't know what she means exactly, because as much as I love Palpatine, for example, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he's clearly the bad guy. He's a comically evil villain. I almost think it would have been more interesting if the Sith were just not completely evil, but an alternative to the Jedi, but not. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
the
there are
Jedi,
times when I agree with them, like the Sith.
Yeah.
I see their POV.
I wish there were more. They leaned into that a little more. So it's yeah, the Sith are bad, but you can
But
understand.
But they give in so simplistically, right? Like their approach to existing is so black and white, just do that, right? Whereas the Jedi are more they look for solutions and a less easy way, in a simpler way, where where they're oh, Anakin, just go do this, become evil, and everything, all your problems are solved. And really doing that is terrible and awful, and you don't want to do any of that. But also, simplistic views sometimes makes more sense than holding on to some weird belief that actually is hurting you slowly. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just,
It is 100 years, roughly 100 years, Randall, before.
Revan is what comes to mind.
Yeah, even Dooku to an extent.
Yeah.
I know he ultimately kind of just got absorbed by the dark side, but initially I think that's why I like Tales of the Jedi so much, is because he does fall, I would say, for the right reasons, but the dark side just corrupts you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went in with good intentions, only to progressively get worse, to the point to where
Exactly.
Palpatine could just manipulate him and milk him for all he's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really is interesting.
Well, that's why I'm curious about, I don't know, just seeing, yes, if the Sith are being portrayed as the underdog here, I feel I don't know, it'll be especially interesting to see how they compare to what the state of the Jedi is now compared to how we know them. Because their role as Jedi here, I imagine at this point in time in the universe, they're nowhere near the same. The Jedi as we know them in Clone Wars and prequels have strayed so far from what their actual purposes are, to the point that they've just become, they're militarized and whatnot. So I'm curious, I don't know, maybe I have rose-colored glasses because I've never seen and I've not read any of the High Republic material, so I'm sure the Jedi still had their issues, still had some self-imposed problems and whatnot because of their dogma and all of that. But am I wrong in assuming that the Jedi during this time period here are a little more like pure, like close to the actual core of what the Order is supposed to be?
They are closer, but I think this is going to be the point where it starts like, like they were up here and now they're coming down. I think this is going to show like exactly why they're coming down. Because this is, it's a High Republic, but it's at the very end of the High Republic.
Right. Yes, like the downfall of the Golden Age.
It's like the
When Yoda
sunset.
starts to enter his elder years, starts to lose grasp a little bit with reality.
Are you trying to say he gets like Alzheimer's or something?
That's what they're going to reveal. Like during the prequels,
Yoda
actually had Alzheimer's
the whole time.
and dementia the entire time. So while Windu and Anakin were yelling at each other, he forgot all about it the next day. He was never there to address the core issues.
He's sitting on Dagobah like, I wonder what happened to Skywalker. He's like, I'm gonna go to the temple. He's like, no, Yoda. they're all dead, Yoda. He's like, oh, what happened? Like, Yoda,
no.
we went there together. You saw all the bodies.
What's more dangerous than Yoda on a chair? Yoda on a chair with Alzheimer's.
Yeah. The Darth Bane trilogy vibes.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that actually, because talking about how Sith are the underdog, I think in the Darth Bane trilogy, that's the closest we've gotten to seeing the Sith as like complete underdogs. Because I mean, Bane, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it, because I like, Kat, if you're in a reading phase right now, I would recommend reading that trilogy.
You could
it's
say
good.
something. I have one of the Darth Bane books. I did not realize
Kat,
it was
like,
a
I already read all of
trilogy.
them.
No. I have so many Star Wars books. I'll be honest, I have a whole lot of Star Wars books, and I've just been hesitant to read all of them because I'm like, every time I do, I'm like, I just want them to make a movie of this. I'm like, why haven't they done this? And it just kind of makes me frustrated. But I don't know, getting into Dark Disciple, I'm like, frick it. I got to get over myself and just keep reading all of them. So I do have one of the main books. I didn't realize it was actually a trilogy. So hopefully I have the first one.
What's it called? Do you know?
It's in the other room. Rats. I don't know.
That's okay.
I'm going to look up their titles. I'll see which one stands out. All right.
So Zach, do you know when the rule of two, like, is it like when did that start and why did it start?
Yeah, so
I
that
actually don't
started.
know.
That is spoiler territory with the Darth Bane book, but loosely it's because there were, during Darth Bane's time as a Sith, initially there were a ton of Sith. It was like the Sith were basically like the Jedi. They had all these like just thousands of them, and they were infighting, and they couldn't beat the Jedi because they would always like try to fight the Jedi, but then they ended up fighting each other and they just weaken each other. And so Bane was like, we should just get rid of most of the Sith and just have two. And then he created the rule of two, which isn't too spoilery because they talk about that in Clone Wars. And so then basically there's just two Sith that exist at any given time for 1,000 years, like just two Sith at any given time during that 1,000 years. And this is sort of, 900 years into that right now, where we're at in the Acolyte. And so what I am wondering is, I assume this is like the Sith Master right here, whoever's hand this is. And so I'm thinking that the Acolyte is not a Sith yet, but is kind of auditioning to be a Sith. And so I'm wondering, is this Darth Plagueis, or is Darth Plagueis going to be the apprentice of this Acolyte that we see in the trailer eventually? Once she becomes a Sith and overthrows her master, is she going to take Plagueis as her apprentice? And is that how we're going to get to Palpatine? What do you guys think? Because that's one of the biggest things that I'm wondering about.
Does Plagueis' race have human-like hands?
That's what I was going to say.
I think it would be different. No, they would have like longer fingers. So I don't think this is Plagueis. Unless they change his species to, because they could do that. We have not seen him in canon.
Yeah, that would be wild, though. Do you think they would?
I don't think that would go over well.
It would not. It would not go over well. But this is Disney we're talking about.
I mean, they could totally do it because, like, I feel like Snoke in some way. Like, you could just look kind of like Snoke. Do it that way, maybe. in how they did with the motion capture, unless it's too expensive, and it is a TV show, so yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess they could do it. I don't think that would go over well, and I can't imagine that they would expect that to go over well at all.
It would
But
go over very poorly. And I would compare it to something like if you had this really cool villain in the Marvel comics, and then when they finally brought him to the big screen, he was just like a dude. Like that's
Right.
like, yeah, we haven't seen it in canon before, but the Legends material is popular and people are aware of it. So you should try to do it justice, I think, if you're going to bring him into canon.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if this were Plagueis, they'd be drawing more attention or making a bigger deal of it. I don't know, unless they want it
Or
to
they
be like a big
wouldn't.
surprise,
I'm
right?
pretty sure
It
they
could-
would want it to be a surprise.
could,
Yeah.
could be one way or the other. I personally kind of, I don't know. I don't want this show to rely on the familiarity of that and the intrigue and kind of, not that it would be fan service, but I don't know. I'm so excited for this show just because it's new and fresh and totally uncharted, untapped territory and so far removed from everything that we know. Like, I want it to just maintain that and be self-sufficient without having to invoke all that familiar stuff. I don't know. Not that
I mean,
that's
yeah,
like
like as much
Go
as I
ahead.
love Qui-Gon, right? I wouldn't want them to go into like Qui-Gon because this isn't about Qui-Gon, right? I agree 100% with what you're saying. I think the fact that we're in uncharted territory necessarily, right, in terms of like a filmography perspective, right? I think there's a lot that we can do here where we don't have to rely on what we know, right? We can start exploring new things and even new types of fighting, right? Like I was saying, right? The fact that they're the High Republic, right, and not the Jedi Order we see in the prequels, right? They obviously look very clean, right? Their robes look very clean. The temple looks really clean. It's all a different vibe, right? So I think this is an opportunity to do something new and clean and fresh. I agree 100%.
Yeah, plus I feel like Plagueis, there are some things that I just want to remain forever untouched in Star Wars. That being kind of one of them. It's like if you don't handle it properly, people will be mad, and this fandom's already mad and people are already writing this show off. I feel like heading into this show, this one has the most odds stacked against it with people already like, I don't know. I only glossed over our group chat that was blowing up this afternoon, but I don't know your guys' full actual thoughts on this trailer or the show, but I feel like going into this, like, this show has the most naysayers out of the gate, people denouncing it as woke, all that stuff. I'm not even gonna like breathe any life into those accusations because there's nothing to suggest that. And if you ask me, but I feel like going in already, there's already so much stacked against this show, and paired with the unfamiliarity and how new it is. Like, I feel like this show's gonna have the hardest time proving itself, and therefore, I just wouldn't want it risking. Not that I don't think they could do it and fulfill it. Not that I doubt their ability, but I just get scared. I'm just like, don't dig a deeper hole for yourself by trying to conquer some of the most juicy lore. Like, if it's not done well, I don't know. It's just kind of a risk. I don't know.
This is a good point that G Mars has here. So basically what we know from the prequels is that the Jedi are shocked when the Sith show up. And I think Yadi Mundi says something like, there hasn't
It's been like a millennia. Yeah.
It's been like 1,000 years since the Sith
Yeah.
have been extinct or whatever. So if they're going to be Jedi encountering Sith in the show, it's not going to go well for the Jedi by that logic, if they're going to abide by their own lines from their own movie.
Yeah, I mean, unless they do encounter them, and the only time they do encounter them, everyone dies, so no one can there's no messenger to tell the tale or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
the saber wounds, there's like some person maybe working with them, but in the temple saying, "Oh yeah, no, it was just fellow Jedi went rogue or some shit like that," and it wasn't anything to be worried about. They've been dispatched. There is no threat, whatever, right? Kind of like how the New Republic is just totally oblivious to Thrawn returning, right? They're just like, oh, yeah, there's no way. I mean, it's been at this point, it's been 900 years. It's like there's no way they're back now, right?
At least
Like,
that makes more sense than like the High Republic or the New Republic being like, no, this is fine. The Empire's totally defeated. It's been like what, 3 years? Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks, dude. There's no way the Empire coming back.
Palpatine is still falling down that shaft as we speak. Oh, he's dead.
Dude, the robot chicken skit where Palpatine hits the bottom and there's a janitor down there.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
love
"Oh God damn it! What are they doing up there?" And he's just like sweeping Palpatine under the rug. Oh, but
The
yeah,
only one who knew what happened during the events of this series is Yoda. I
That's
think
true.
Apu Rancis
Yeah,
is
but
alive too.
but Yoda has dementia, so he doesn't remember any of
Oh
this.
my god.
But yeah, no, he is. So he is going to be the only character that we know. But when are we going to see him? And are we going to see him? I feel like we would have to at some point, right?
Oh yeah, they've got to have at least
Yeah.
a cameo. I think people would be a little disappointed. I'd be fine if we didn't see Yoda, but I mean, he's presumably either the Grandmaster or he's absolutely on the council at this time. So yeah, I feel we've got to see him. We've definitely got to see him.
Terra Sunube is alive. How old is that guy? How old does his species live?
Dude, he's old as balls.
Damn. He's
What
ancient.
was that sound?
Just wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Zach's unhinged with old people. Almost as old as Yoda. Really? Is he that old?
What? Okay,
Jesus.
Tara.
And Apo Rancis is also alive at this time. He's the bearded like snake Jedi that you see on the council in the Phantom Menace.
Snake.
Yeah.
How do you spell? I want to spell like
Oppo
keeps-
OPPO
Balls.
and then space RANCISIS.
oh. Huh. This guy.
I think the show will
Jump
build
scare.
the Jedi to have us all like. Zach hates old people confirmed. Yes.
Ah. Oh my god, this must have been the worst costume. This poor man. Looks so
And
hot in there.
to answer your question, Kat, did we like the trailer? I found the celebration trailer to be much better in terms of like the mystery and the fighting
Really?
styles shown. Yeah, like they showed a lot more fighting and saber combat. And
We don't want to
Or
hear
trailer.
about your celebration privilege. Check your privilege, Alex.
also, I got bit by a spider. I have this bump on my finger.
What? What is going on tonight, guys? Wait, the spider bite
What?
just happened now?
No.
Spider-Man?
I just noticed it this morning. It's just
Oh.
getting bigger. So I hope I don't have to like pop it
All
or
right.
anything.
All right, Peter.
Anyway, but yeah, I found that trailer to be much better. I didn't mind this trailer, but it didn't excite me, right? I wasn't like, oh wow, I can't wait, right? I was like, I need to see more now because if this is true, if they're not using the volume at all, I want to see
Yeah,
the locations more now. That excites me,
Show that off. Show it
but-
off.
especially if it's narratively similar to Andor, right?
Ender.
Whatever that means.
Cassian
Cassian
Ender.
Andor.
He's
Yaddle
gonna
is
turn into
younger.
Madame Shut.
I like how you just say Madame now automatically. You don't even-
Yeah, he didn't even spell it like that. He just said
Yo, I can't unsay it like that. Anytime I see it on Twitter, Madame. It's Madame.
Dude, you're gonna
Madame
sound
Web.
like so illiterate when everyone's like, "Oh, did you guys see that new movie, Madame Web?" And you're like, "Oh, I love Madame Web." And you're like, "What'd you say?" You're like, "Oh,
Madame Web.
sorry."
that's what I
I'm gonna
said.
go-
Madame.
I'm gonna go into the AMC. 2 tickets to Madame Web, please. Dead serious.
Madame.
Yeah, let's get a Madame Web in the chat.
If you were there, you were there. If you know, you know.
Darth Ender.
Darth Vader. So okay, so I'm thinking. So this is probably the Acolyte then, and then the chick. This chick is not the Acolyte. I'm
Acolyte
assuming,
in the
right?
running.
No, she's
she's
the acolyte.
just like
'cause
some-
she's the main actress, right?
Amanda Stenberg, yeah. So is she
Yeah.
the acolyte of whoever that
I would assume, yeah.
person is? Because acolyte implies you're like a sub.
Apprentice, yeah.
Yes.
So she's if she's the Acolyte and he's the Master, and that's obviously not Plagueis.
Or it's her after she's gotten her lightsaber. I could see it being that. I can't tell the skin color of the hand. Does the skin color? What's the skin color? It looks white to me, but with that lighting, it could be her skin tone.
Yeah, interesting.
That could be interesting. Oh, You might be onto something.
But
It's dark, but I mean, I don't know.
the other thing I wanted to say is that not that they're gonna be beholden to legends or anything, but we did like over our group text earlier, like investigate Plagueis's age and like when he was born. He would be a child or a teenager if they keep his like age as it is in Legends.
Like 11 years or 12 years or something like that.
Yeah, he'd be something like that. So yeah, because if this is 100 years after the Phantom Menace, I think the Phantom Menace was like 32 BBY. This would be 132 BBY, and then Plagueis was born in like the 140s BBY. So he would be like 10 to 12, basically. If they keep it like that, but they could change it.
And if it's going to be multi-seasons, then they might be building up to that. This
Yeah,
might be like the,
which is why I say it's possible that Plagueis could end up being the apprentice of the Acolyte.
Oh. God forbid. I feel like that might make people unhappy. Oh, Plagueis as a master was a woman.
wasn't Plagueis? Was
What
it
a
Darth,
simp.
I thought it was sweet. I thought
Was
he
it
already
Darth
had a master. Tenebris.
Tenebris?
Yeah.
Tenebris in
Yeah.
Legends is his master, but they could retcon. They could
oh, if they
Tenebris.
retcon that, there's going to be a lot of
Oh.
there's going to be a lot of division, regardless of what you
People
think.
barely know who Tenebris is, though.
I know, but for the people who are going to act like they know who Tenebris is, they're going to be outraged. So
He's
you have to
suddenly going
take
to
that into
become the
account.
most beloved character of the franchise.
Yeah, everyone's
He's
gonna
guys.
love
like
Tenebris.
barely in anything. He's in like Tenebris is in like nothing. He's almost like I'd be okay if they did to be, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I don't want them to
Okay.
retcon Plagueis, but I'd be okay if they retcon
Tenebris
Tenebris.
manipulated Plagueis' birth. Kind of like
Dude, Tenebris is a baddie.
what Palps did. Papa Palps did.
Because, like, look, I think he's in. I don't even know where he appears. He's in, like, let's see what it says. In Legends.
I'll look him up.
I want to look at his
Darth
appearances.
Tenebris.
So he was in the book Darth Plagueis. And then in, like, an Insider magazine. And that's it.
But he's the most beloved character on Wikipedia. How could they change him? He's first mentioned in the current Star Wars canon in the 44th issue of the magazine Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon, published
That is
by
very
the
niche.
Agostini.
Yeah, that's not exactly Empire Strikes Back. Is it?
Anybody have
He
that
was
issue just
originally-
laying around?
He was originally introduced in The Tenebris Way, a short story in Star Wars Insider 130.
He is a good character though. Like I'm like in all seriousness, I think he is interesting. Like the way he dies, if I remember correctly, he tries to like possess Plagueis's body or something, but then he doesn't, and then has to exist in limbo for a time, and then once he I think like gets his consciousness together, he realizes that like 100 years have passed or something, or like a long time has passed, and Plagueis is now dead. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm a little rusty on the specifics, but like he's cool.
Scientific mastermind possessed of a calculating intellect with an obsession on shaping the future, and was the master of Darth Plagueis and Darth Venomous.
Oh yeah, he went. Okay, so he entered Plagueis's body as he died and slipped into his cells, and then he was able to like foresee Plagueis's death, and then I think let's see, what does he do? It says, seeking an answer to understand Plagueis' complacent behavior, Tenebris threw again his mind at the future, but could see nothing. And then the retrovirus infected Plagueis' every cell. His apprentice was now robbed of his foresight power, wholly giving himself to panic. Gnome, which is Tenebris, escaped Plagueis' body to think about a way out, only to discover Plagueis' mummified remains. Time had passed, possibly decades or centuries, but the Sith Lord was unaware of it. He then wondered if his foresight, instead of being eliminated, had been twisted upon itself, forcing him to endlessly relive his death, thus acquiring the coveted immortality, but not as he wanted. At that moment of realization, the Dark Lord wished he still had a mouth with which to scream.
Whoa.
Yeah, so pretty dark,
Dang.
pretty good. And he lived his death over and over again for all eternity. So talk about a bad way to go.
Isn't that a circle of hell? That's like one of Dante's. Hold on, which circle is that?
They're all bad.
It's called hell.
Yeah, I don't think there was a single layer in Dante's Inferno that.
Dude, I loved
found
that
to
book
be
so
good.
much.
It's so good, but I would not want to go there.
Circles of hell, reliving death.
Let's do a stream from hell, guys.
Yeah, it's the third circle of hell. Okay, it's for sin.
Aren't they
Okay.
all?
Boom.
No, it's for hold on.
You go to the third circle of hell if you grade any Star Wars project lower than like an 8.
Yeah.
Which is
If
like,
you don't acknowledge their hard work,
yeah. Straight to hell.
I hope everyone realizes we're joking. We're joking. It's a joke.
No,
just
we never
for-
joke on the Evil Ewok podcast.
Just to have our own bets.
Oh my god, they're like not giving me the answer. It's like a long description about Dante's Inferno, but it starts off with the third circle of hell. It's like gluttony. It's like the sin of gluttony, where you have to relive your death over and over again. Something like that.
Alex, can you make a moving background of just hell, and then we could do a hell stream?
Just like falling through hell.
Yeah.
Visitor Zeta just absolutely roasted us into oblivion.
Yeah,
Don't
that's pretty good, Visitor Zeta. It's pretty good. Sometimes I think that myself.
It's so expensive. California, in general.
The heat.
The heat. It's not hot.
It's nice right now. Enjoy it now. It's about to be. We're entering the phase of the year.
It doesn't really get hot here at all, even when it is hot.
Yeah, you're south where there's always
You're
a
from
breeze.
the East Coast. It gets so much hotter over there.
Let's dox Alex.
There's a different. I don't know this. It's never.
There's
I've
not a
never been on the
massive difference
East Coast,
between me and you, but the I know that you guys get more rain than we do.
Dude, it has been raining like every weekend for the last month.
Yeah.
And it only on the weekend. It drives me insane. It's like, oh, the weekend's finally here and it's raining.
trickles.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have the same weather forever. It's like we're living Groundhog Day, and I look over at LA. It's like, oh, they're getting rainstorms and thunderstorms and all this other shit.
Although a couple weekends ago it rained and I decided to go to Six Flags and there was like no one there. It was so sick. I went on like all the
Wow.
rides at will.
Oh my god! But were you just getting pelted?
No,
That's
because
gotta hurt.
it rained before we got there and then it was fine. Then it didn't rain at all while we were there. But the damage had already been done because people were like, oh, it's a rainy day. I'm not going to Six Flags.
Turned off.
Yeah.
Smart. Nice.
Yes. So pro tip, guys.
Yeah.
Go to the theme parks if it's raining.
Learn from the locals.
I'm like reading through all the comments. Sorry.
It's Gucci. It's Gucci.
East Coast ain't hot. It's sinking and full of nuclear plants.
Oh, that's one way to look at it.
I forgot how gross Newark is when we flew in. That forget like that side of well, actually, I mean most of Jersey, but that side of Jersey is like just an industrial wasteland.
I
They
don't
don't
like
want
New Jersey.
The armpit for nothing.
I couldn't get over it. I was like, oh my god, I don't even remember it being this bad. I used to go there when I was a kid all the time because of my grandpa, and then going there again, I was like, oh my god, would never want to live here.
There are still parts of New Jersey that are really freaking nice, really beautiful.
Seaside.
I like Idle or not Idlewild. What's it called? Wildwood.
Wildwood.
I like wait, is Cape May in New
Seaside.
Jersey?
Cape May. Cape May is beautiful. Stone Harbor,
Yeah.
Avalon. Still,
Yeah, like
granted, these
anywhere
are
on
all
the coast that
beach
isn't near
places.
industrial wastelands. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Really
Well, do we have any last thoughts about this trailer?
So okay, so I think it's a good bet, Zach, that this is her. Just she's now an acolyte with a saber.
In her final form.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. I'm pretty sure you're right. Actually, that's not bad.
Thanks, brother.
I'm gonna side with you on that one.
My question is though, could she not? Someone get a cough drop. Yeah, sorry, Sean.
This might take place in New Jersey.
Oh my god.
They didn't even like try to make anything look different. They're just in New Jersey.
A backlot of Jersey. Yeah.
There's cars
You
driving
see
by.
like the New York skyline behind it. They're like, wait, is that the skyline?
At the beginning, like they don't even come up with a fake planet. It's just New Jersey.
God.
Oh no, it's New Jersey. It's
Welcome
New
to the Garden
Jersey.
State.
Oh
Throw
god.
up. My only question is, whoever this individual is was able to eliminate not one but like 9 or 10 Jedi in one swift little tornado. She's unless she had like unlocked her full power or something, or she was still had untapped darkness, hadn't fully committed. Unless she has like a drastic power up, the other Jedi were kind of like able to hold their own against her. Like if that's the only the discrepancy in whoever this person is versus the assassin as we see her, trying when she's taking on the Jedi. Like unless she's just going easy on them.
Dude, we have to do this hell stream.
We're live from hell. Oh, sorry, I mean New Jersey.
And our special guest, Satan.
Oh,
Jesus, Cat. Cat, just die already.
I'm going on mute. I'm going.
Maria,
Wait, y'all, let me-
they're replacing Tenebris. How do you feel about that?
Oh god.
The trailer was good. However, we need more spots or trailers to let us know something without giving anything away, if that makes sense. I honestly would like to know less. That was my biggest complaint with this trailer. I think there was too much dialogue that was spoon fed to us. I didn't need that.
Yeah, do you think Tom's biggest critique was that like it's still so vague, like in regards to the plot? Like I don't know. I think our biggest critique was that there's no indication. This could be the show to bring back a lot of casual fans who only go to see Star Wars if it's either in theaters or has media that includes the Jedi and whatnot, like all that familiar stuff. And this especially is not dependent. Yes, you can be reading the High Republic novels and comics, but this is not formulated in a way that you need that back knowledge. This, out of all of the like recent Disney Plus shows, is like the least dependent on any of the other ones right now. And so I feel like there should have been
stuff too.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been some allusion in this trailer for the, I don't like to use the word casual, but for the fans who only like watch Star Wars in movies, which is fine, which is most people who would see this and be intrigued. But I feel like if I were to show this to that type of fan, they'd be like, give me some idea, when does this take place? Like they wouldn't be able to place it in the timeline. I feel like there should have just been some allusion to like 100 years before the Phantom Menace, like something like that. Because right now I feel like people
if
might
they
still
redid like the Phantom Menace trailer where they're like, like in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
like they did like a retro style trailer and they showed very little but told a lot, right?
I wonder if
there's your idea, Alex.
I wonder if that's why they didn't show Yoda, because they didn't want to confuse people.
No,
like,
that could be fair. That's fair.
I mean, I don't really need to see Yoda because I want this to be not focused on characters we already know, right? But yeah, it's, I don't know. I think you're right, Kat, in a lot of aspects. I just really like I keep beating the dead horse. I just really like the Celebration trailer much more because I felt like it got it gave you an idea about how like visceral their fighting style is and like what to expect in the show and some motivations, right? And this is just kind of like a lot of open threads without any of the middle threads. So it's just like a bunch of open threads. Now all of a sudden here's the ending thread where like now we're seeing possibly the Acolyte now with the saber instead of a sword, right? Which I mean is fine for a trailer, right? Trailers shouldn't tell you everything, but yeah, there was something missing to build excitement for me in this trailer for sure.
Zach, any final words?
No, like my biggest, like I think the show's biggest advantage, as you were saying, is the fact that it's not beholden to very much. It's beholden to a few lines of dialogue from the prequels and That's basically it. They don't have to do what Legends did. I would like them to do a good amount of what Legends did because I think Legends got it right at this point in time. But I mean, Disney has shown time and time again that they're going to do their own thing. They might take inspiration from Legends, but yeah, that's why I was saying if they retcon Tenebris, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because 99% of people don't know who he is, and I would say a chunk of a majority of Star Wars fans don't know who he is. So
He's
they
going to
could do
become
it.
everyone's favorite character, Zach. No, I think for once you're being too generous. He's going to become everyone's favorite freaking character. It's going to start a whole... Oh, I don't know.
The
I don't
Tenebris
know.
War.
Fandom's going to implode.
But no, I am very excited about the show because it's not set during the 20-year period between The Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I'm very happy that it's not yet another one of those shows.
I think that's probably the most intriguing aspect for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how the story is, it's just exploring a new era. I think is something that is a lot more refreshing, as Kat was saying.
Yeah, I'm ready. I hope people give the show a chance. Maybe it's good that the trailer's so vague. There's still so much, left. In typical fashion, I imagine that everything that they showed is taking place within the first 2 episodes, maybe first 3 or so. So there's still so much left to be seen. I don't know. I hope this becomes kind of like an Andor situation, which really spread by word of mouth. Like, I don't think a lot of people initially started watching Andor, and then everyone realized that it was the shiz. So maybe, especially if this is narratively the same as Andor, similar vein. Similar vibe.
Yeah, who are
I
the
hope.
writers?
Do
That's
we
actually something I wanna
know
see.
how many episodes they're going to have? Do we know
Yeah,
that
8
yet?
episodes,
8, I believe.
Okay.
30 minutes.
30 minutes each?
Yeah.
According
That's
to
what-
that tweet,
It-
maybe 30 minutes is like the average. Maybe some of them are like, all right, I
so
don't know.
some are 22 minutes, like Bad Batch, where they're
I
wasted.
hate that, dude. Why? It's god damn it. If there were like 16 episodes, fine. But I'm sick of the 30-minute episodes, the 27-minute episodes. It's like, what do we do? I think they should just have a consistent runtime, like a set runtime, like 45 minutes.
Ooh.
Every episode should be that same runtime. I don't like this, I don't like speculating how long an episode's gonna be. It infuriates me.
And sometimes there's such a discrepancy, like with Kenobi. There were some episodes that were over 45 minutes and then some that were the 27-minute ones if you subtract credits. So it's like,
Yeah.
make it even. Share. Don't
Share the load.
Share the load.
Yes, Kat.
Oh my god.
I could carry it for a while.
I mean, alluding to Lord of the Rings, might as well just cut to the ring. The Ring of Power.
Oh, wait, are we missing something? Is this also about to turn into?
They were all of them.
They have to take the
see.
ring to Mordor.
Or this wasn't Star Wars. It was Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god.
So it seems like Leslie Headland wrote all of them, but I guess.
But I think she was
there's-
surrounded. There was a whole writer's room. I'm pretty sure.
But there's not. But the only other person that's credited with more than like 1 or 2 episodes is Jason Micallef. So she wrote like most of them. Or she was involved in most of them, right?
But I do know that this is what people were getting in a tizzy about because she allegedly had a writer who had never seen. She brought in somebody who'd never seen Star Wars at all to kind of just keep her in check.
I mean, that's fine.
That's fine.
Right. People were ripping her for this.
Because if you have people who are like too into the lore, right? They're gonna be like,
Yes.
"Oh, but we got to do that," and that's like, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because from like a story perspective, this is cool, but
Right.
it's dumb because now it's just forced. We're like, oh, but it would be so cool if it's like So
You
I think
also
there
get
do need.
you
Go
also
ahead.
get self-aware Star Wars, like J.J. Abrams was doing it in The Force Awakens, where Finn's or like Han Solo's like, you got a trash compactor here, and then Finn's like, yeah, we do. It's like,
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's a Star Wars fan line.
God, dude,
Yeah,
I freaking hate that.
it's true. It's such a Star Wars fan line. Whereas if it was written by the Andor guy, there's no way that would have made it in the script.
No,
ever.
it's
If
a
you're like,
dumb line.
yeah. Sons of Anarchy, Yellowstone, Andor, Daredevil, Shogun, The Sopranos, all these excellent dramas are over 45 minutes. Why is it so hard making these long format dramas? And Shogun is fucking amazing.
I know.
too.
I need to watch it. I need to watch it.
I'm
It's
behind.
incredible. So good.
Yeah, I need to watch. I think
Force
there's 3
Awakens is-
episodes out that I need to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can still rewatch The Force Awakens, right? Like I enjoyed kind of like that soft reboot, and it was fun.
Softly.
I need to make myself forget what happens after it in order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna hate what I'm gonna say. I think the most rewatchable one for me is The Last Jedi.
What? I mean, at least you didn't say the Rise of
Do you just
Skywalker.
watch like the first like 30 minutes, or no?
Nah,
Go-
I'll
go
be
skip
honest.
the
I don't.
first-
I don't
skip the first 15
actively.
minutes and then watch it for 30 minutes and then turn it off.
Have you rewatched the sequels willingly?
No, the last time I watched them was leading up to The Rise of Skywalker. That's honestly the last time I watched each of them, I
Wow.
think.
Like
So
there's cool
just-
moments in them, but it's like overall, it's like I just can't because I just can't.
Yeah.
so
I would rather do so many things than rewatch The Rise of Skywalker. I honestly could never rewatch that movie again in the rest of my life. I think I'd be okay.
I might do it before the Ray show comes out. That'll be my reason to Ray show. Excuse me, Ray movie.
Do you
The
know
next
something we
show.
don't?
No.
Dude, watch the Ray movie be like a 95% Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like the best.
I
thing
would
ever.
love it. I would.
That would be
down
that
for
would be wild if it pulls like a Dune and just like is amazing.
Please, please.
Ray is the Lee Son Al Gaib.
Really, it's just this Dune reboot with Ray.
She has blue eyes now, like just
As it was
glowing blue
written.
eyes. She writes Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. They're like, is this Dune?
This is just Dune, like.
But it's in water. It's on a water
They didn't
planet.
even try.
And the sandworms are ocean worms.
And instead of spice, it's like salt or something. Salt.
The salt must flow. Yeah,
Oh,
just Avatar. God, dude. I have one question, Zach. I don't know if you know this, but Maria, you might know this. In terms of like the writers' room, so say you have a writers' room of 9 people, and you're hired by the person who's writing the film. Are you required to have a credit if you help with her episodes, or is there a room that's like on staff where like she can take the credit for their work?
I actually don't know.
You guys know that? Maria, do you know that?
I feel like usually the writers are just credited.
Like usually I would think so, but I mean I know that there are. I was wondering because I know that there are writers on staff writers. I don't know if they get credit. I was just curious, like in television,
Oh, there you have it.
credits are only for WGA members.
That makes sense.
So then Leslie Headland has 8 other writers in her writers' room that don't get credit but help her. Is that right or no?
I guess if they're not members of the WGA. Oh, that explains it.
Oh,
That
2 or
explains
3
it.
WGA members. Okay, so like they're just like they're just like contracted or work for hire or guns for hire, where they steal it.
Guns.
Yeah, kind of like what Alan Dean Foster did for A New Hope, where he wrote it, he ghost wrote it, and George took credit for it for a while.
The book.
Yeah,
I remember having a book and it said like George Lucas, and I was like, really? He writes books too?
he does everything. Yeah, it's interesting. Ray is the new Paul Atreides. Her name is Ray Atreides.
Atreides.
Ray Atreides. Here I am. Here I remain.
I see a narrow way through.
Oh my god.
They just like that would just. Oh my god, that'd be the
Show
best.
me who you are.
Maria, did you like Dune? I didn't talk to you anything about Dune really, but that's like the hottest thing out right now.
Dude, you're
Star
the
Wars is
hottest
taking a
thing out
back seat.
now.
Oh, thanks, baby.
How's
girl.
that make you feel, pal?
Hot and bothered.
You know, the Barbie
Might need
movie
to-
taught me that us guys have to support each other.
Yes,
I might have
yes.
I'm just supporting you, brother.
Yes.
I should have like the sexy jazz man music playing,
Yeah.
but we don't have it.
We all know
Ghostbusters comes out soon. Are you guys
How
gonna
many
see
are
that?
there?
No,
How many Ghostbusters do
there
we
should have
need?
only been one Ghostbusters. I will die on that hill.
Oh,
From bottom
goodness.
to top, writing assistant, staff writer, story editor, executive story editor, co-producer, supervising edit producer, co-executive producer, showrunner.
Maria with the facts.
And
Let's
then
go.
you have God after showrunner.
God
Emperor of Dune.
Emperor
Yes.
of Dune.
I am getting the itch to read the sequels.
You
Because
should.
I just got Messiah. I got a hardcover because I haven't read it, so I'm excited.
Read
oh,
it.
big pimpin'.
Read it and come back to me.
It has blue. It has
Hey,
blue.
Kat, watch
it
the
has a
movie
blue lining.
and then come back.
Yeah, how have you not
Touche.
seen the movie? That's still.
How are
just
you not?
explained.
Go see it
Like-
right now. What are
I
you
just
streaming with us for?
explained you.
Instead of doing Laundry Cat, just go and watch Dune
Oh my
Part 2.
God. I explained
go-
to y'all.
You have to go
No.
see the
I
Lisan
understand,
Al-Gaib.
but this is all you have to do. You make it easy. You don't have to even walk there. You can just call an Uber, right?
Yeah, call
And the
an
Uber
cab.
takes you
right
to
to
the
the
movie,
theater, right to the
and
movie.
then you watch the movie, and
Well,
then you come out of the movie.
First, you
and
have
then
to
you
buy
watch the movie.
tickets. First, buy tickets. Get seats.
Then I have to watch the Nicole Kidman AMC video first.
Well, yeah, but they've shortened that. It's now like the abridged version.
We don't have it anymore.
Yeah, they're phasing it out. I think I saw it for the last time when I saw it.
Yeah. We didn't get to
Oh,
see it.
R.I.P. Dang
I
it.
love how
No.
everyone cheers during it.
Yeah,
It's
everyone
amazing.
claps like
And,
Everyone's
Nicole.
like, yeah, Nicole. Such a
Good for
stupid
her.
commercial. We're in the
It's the
movies.
best commercial in the world.
Like, what are you doing?
It makes you
What are you
pumped to be at the
doing?
movies. You're
No,
like,
it
"Fuck
doesn't.
yeah, I'm at the
It makes
movies."
me question whether or not they're questioning my intelligence.
What
They're like,
are you doing?
Oh my.
I'm giving
Jesus
Kat a heart
Christ.
attack.
Coughing to death is my strategy.
What are you doing? Oh my god. Put that on a
Oh yeah,
shirt.
I was about to say what they didn't have in Dune 2, but then I was like, oh wait, Kat hasn't seen it. And
No, don't say it. Don't say anything.
I just wish it was longer. That was my big thing. I was like, if they could have easily made it another 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I would have loved that. But not of just like, I wouldn't have wanted an extra 15 minutes of just Zendaya crying though. I wouldn't have wanted that. I would have wanted some other stuff.
I wanted more Shy Halud.
Yeah.
All right,
Doesn't
boys and
Paul
girls.
eventually turn into a worm?
No,
Yes.
he does
Somebody does.
Not Paul.
Somebody.
Don't spoil it for people.
Damn
Damn it, Maria. Saw Dune Part 2 a few weeks ago. I loved it. Okay, well now we're talking about Dune. So obviously our Acolyte discussion is over.
What are we
Our
doing?
Our time is short.
Our time is actually over. Holy shit. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
All 25, 30 of you that were here live. It's obviously good to be back. We try to come back as much as we can. It's just, life and being an adult in California is tough. So
We live in HE double hockey sticks, apparently. So
We will do a hell stream though
yeah. Live
from New Jersey,
from New Jersey. I mean, hell. I mean, wait.
Newark,
Shit.
live from the streets of Newark. You might actually get murdered while we're on stream.
Dude, that they haven't updated that airport at all.
Dude, I hate the Newark airport. I've been in there.
It's so
once.
cheap though. It was
It's
like
terrible.
so cheap to
I
fly
know
to
that's
Newark.
why I flew there. But
Dude, Philly was like $1,000 and Newark was like $200. I was like, okay, well, this is obvious.
it's awful. Tom and I recently got trapped at the Newark airport, so this is all resonating with me.
The
It's my core.
Amtrak sucks too. The Amtrak is like the worst thing
Hey,
ever.
don't roast Amtrak. Amtrak is sweet.
Our thing got delayed and canceled twice trying to get down to
Oh.
Philly.
Hey,
Smakies.
simmer down, Sparky.
Okay.
Look at all of us
I'll chill.
West Coasters talking as if we know. Like,
Well, weren't you? You grew up.
You're
there.
from the
This is
East
true.
Coast.
What are you talking about? Us
Are you
West
like
Coasters.
you can't become one of us, Kat. You
Yeah,
can't
what-
become one of us.
Get the hell out of here.
Google gobble one of us.
How do you
I like
do,
forgot
fellow
where she was
kids?
from.
Yeah.
Kat, you're never gonna be one of us. Don't make it a thing.
What are you trying to do, Kat?
Oh my god!
He's like, oh yeah, I forgot where I was from.
To
Cat
the
just got
fucking
eviscerated.
I just got roasted.
You were on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of West Coaster. All right, everybody.
Alrighty.
We'll see you on the next one.